Hello and welcome to my channel. I am San T Fun, and today I want to discuss about what I've been doing for the last few days, I guess. Anyways, it's as simple as that. I was just posting articles on Medium. Yes, as you can see, I'd already posted like 20 articles, and if you want, you can check them out. Also, another update, I recently enrolled the Celestic Warriors series in KDP Select. So just as an experiment though, to see what just happens. And I know it may or may not work, but who cares, I tried it anyways. So anyways, the main topic about today is the LeafyIsHere controversy. So this is like a nuanced discussion regarding, or basically like a study about Leafy's situation. It's not really about supporting or condemning him. It's about the gray area, the part of analyzing. So I first of all need to mention that this article doesn't need to be taken emotionally. It needs to be analyzed logically. And I pretty well know that there could be strong emotions. I'm pretty aware of that because this topic isn't something that is like, it's pretty sensitive, so I can tell. Alright, so let's move on with this article then. Firstly, this took a lot of effort to write this. It's not due to effort, it's mainly due to how sensitive the topic is. I had to be really careful on writing everything because a single word can change everything. It's an analysis, it's not a biased one. And for that reason I had to be pretty careful about language because it's something that can hurt your emotions with any word. It's as sensitive as that. And why I'm telling this? Because LeafyIsHere or Calvin Lee Vail is a pretty controversial figure. He's someone who can easily bring polarization and divide the audience into two sides, his critics or his fans. And that's the exact tricky position he's in. Yes, first of all, he used to make content videos. Content about commentary, entertainment, satire. Yes, that's how his videos were meant to be. He posted videos regarding reacting to random YouTubers who made videos. But well, here's the catch. He didn't really target, as I observed from the archive videos, he usually targeted the unusual videos, the ones we call cringe, and he reacted to them, sometimes mocking them, satirizing them. Yeah, satire is fine because many people do satirize those cringe contents, but the way he did it was somehow different. What he did, he's mainly known for cyberbullying, but if you watch his videos, it doesn't really feel like that at first. But here's the tricky part. A neutral observer won't really notice this. They'll just think that he's just making fun and he's just doing it in a fun way because he really does it that way. So it's not really bad if you think he's just entertaining because it's naturally how he seems to be. But if you analyze his wordings properly, yeah, he does use profanity, which is also used by many YouTubers, but the way he does it is different. He uses it quite often, and he almost always ends up with insults to the ones he's reacting on. Now, that is exactly what I call a personal attack. Yes, directly insulting someone, and someone you barely know. This is exactly what felt a bit off about him. Other than that, you can say if he would have just prevented himself from insulting, probably there was a chance that he won't have faced that big of a backlash. The backlash was massive, by the way, and that's probably due to the way he humiliated them. That's right, and other than that, it could have been probably a satirizing video, given if he didn't do that. he had a pretty unfiltered style of making videos, like saying anything without caring about how the other side would feel, which exactly puts it in a tricky situation. He was mostly like wanting freedom of speech type. Yeah, he didn't want censorship. He just wanted to express himself pretty openly, and that pretty openly is the part which can at times break ethics. Yes, it can end up hurting people. That's the exact part which makes it polarizing. Yeah, people are entertained by the way he makes content. It's pretty natural though, as I said. So his fans naturally support the entertainment. But they do forget that someone on the other side of the screen is actually being bullied. And I basically know how bullying really feels. It can pretty much drain your energy and you can lose motivation by it. Now, it didn't really stop at him mocking them. Yeah, mocking was one thing, but what happened later was the ones he made fun of actually received hate comments. And his fans just his fans just filled their comment box with hate comments. And that's the exact part which I feel is pretty unfair. They didn't deserve that in general. I feel, yeah, he made fun and all, that's fine. But when it comes to personal attacks, that's the exact part which I feel is not good. And especially not good for the ones who are beginners. Yes, at a later stage though, as I actually learned from the sources that he also targeted younger and more vulnerable creators. And this is the exact part which I feel feels like punching down. I discussed it in details on the article, so I recommend to read it through. It's a pretty nuanced view, and it's not that easy to analyze it. And yes, for younger people or vulnerable ones who are just starting or beginners, they are basically not having a fan base to defend them. So for bigger creators, if you would have done it only for bigger creators, the backlash could have been reduced. But he also targeted the smaller ones, which is exactly the part which feels very dehumanizing and makes the backlash worse. Okay, so the one thing I felt, there are more YouTubers like him who faced a lot of controversies. You may even know them. But see, they were never banned, by the way. They could have done even worse than him, and as according to my knowledge, he wasn't really the worst YouTuber. I had seen far worse YouTubers, but they are still alive even now. For that reason, I feel everything is definitely crossing boundaries. But the ban is exactly the thing that felt pretty unfair to me. Even though I'm not really in support of him, neither I'm condemning him, I just think the ban didn't make sense, and there is a reason for that. So what I feel is that you can say the ban part is kind of like silencing him. It felt exactly like that. Yes, he did make multiple videos mocking Pokemon, but the fact is, I know that it's due to the it crosses into harassment if he targets a creator many times. But there's a nuance even here. YouTube doesn't really ban anyone directly. They issue strikes. But for his case, when he did post all those videos, YouTube didn't even give him a strike. They straight up banned him and removed all his videos, which is the exact thing I felt pretty unfair. Yes, if those videos of Pokemon were causing problems, they could have just deleted those, just like they did for the younger creators. And that's the exact part which I felt is a pretty nuanced one. Because other creators at least gets a warning, or at least gets a second chance by YouTube. After warning, they receive a strike, a warning about how they violate. I know for his case, it would have been probably obvious that he violated the terms, but Still, YouTube had a responsibility to give him a warning and a strike, which, as I can find from the sources, was never the case for him. A direct ban is technically unfair. It just makes us question about YouTube's policies. Like, if you are banned without a warning, it does feel pretty unfair, no matter what it did. So yeah, that's the only part that I felt unfair about him. And I discussed about everything pretty clearly in this article. I just didn't want to make this video longer, so I just discussed about what I really thought about him. Be sure to read this article, and it's a pretty long read, by the way. So yeah, if you read this and it resonates with you, definitely be sure to comment. I would really appreciate discussing about it, because it's not really a topic that's like this side is good, this side is wrong. It's not really like that. It falls into the gray zone, and there are a lot of complexities about censorship versus ethics, which is pretty hard to ignore. And yes, for that reason I call it a gray area. You have to read it carefully to understand it, because yes, according to me, it's not as simple as it really feels like. For example, if you are, yes, maintaining ethics is a pretty good thing, but what I observed it also suppresses free speech. So I just feel like both things are unfair at the same time. And this is exactly the reason why it sometimes makes me confused. Because yeah, free speech is also important alongside ethics, and this is exactly the reason why I call it a gray area. It's not really a thing that I can just say that ethics are good and, well, just allow censorship. But again, thinking it the other way, it doesn't really feel like it. It's like the two sides just collide against each other every time I think about it. So for that reason, and also I may be even wrong, so I would really appreciate if you put your opinions about it, and I would really like to know more facts about him so that it can help me in the analysis. Actually, I'd also mention it here. I would also like corrections if there were any in this article, and this article will tell you everything I feel about him. So yeah, I definitely recommend you to read this article more than this video. I just wanted to talk to you about the message. Yes, I thought communication was necessary because I needed you to reach via my voice too. So yes. Anyways, if this video changed something in you, or you have something strong to say, something positive or negative to say about them, then definitely feel free to do that. I'd really respect that, because that will also help me in analyzing both sides better. And what I mean by that is, yes, your emotional reactions are pretty valid about this, because yes, bullying, as I said already, can really make you hate a person pretty badly. And I had myself experienced it. So I can also get the reactions. If you had been bullied, you may go against Leafy. I won't really be surprised by that fact at all. You can feel free to say anything you want about it. And also anything positive about him. If you really enjoyed his videos and you feel there was something more to him, yes, you can also do that. I'd highly appreciate it. And anyways, hope to see you all in the next video.